In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to calculate confidence intervals in Excel. We will use a small sample of data in cells B1 through B3, and then calculate the sample size, the sample standard deviation, the margin of error, and finally the lower and upper bounds of the confidence interval. Each result will be placed in a separate cell, so the worksheet stays organized and easy to check. Start by clicking cell B4. This is where we will calculate the sample size. The sample size simply tells Excel how many values are included in the data range. In this example, the data is in cells B1 through B3, so we want Excel to count how many numeric entries are in that range. With cell B4 selected, type $count B1 B3, and then press Enter. Excel will return the number of values in that range. This number is important because the confidence interval formula needs to know how much data is being used in the sample. Next, click cell B5. In this cell, we will calculate the sample standard deviation. The standard deviation tells us how spread out the values are from the average. Since we are working with a sample rather than an entire population, we will use the sample standard deviation function. Type STDEV. This result will be used in the next calculation, so make sure the formula is entered correctly and that the result appears in cell B5. Now click cell B6. This cell will hold the margin of error. The margin of error tells us how far above and below the sample average the confidence interval should extend. In this example, we are using Excel's confidence.t function, which is appropriate when working with a sample and using the t distribution. Type iEvanFicros.t 0.05, B5, B4, and then press Enter. The 0.05 represents the significance level for a 95% confidence interval. Cell B5 provides the sample standard deviation, and cell B4 provides the sample size. Excel uses those inputs to calculate the margin of error. Once the margin of error is calculated, we can find the lower bound of the confidence interval. Click cell B7. The lower bound is the sample average minus the margin of error. This gives us the lowest value in the confidence interval range. Type =average B1 B3 minus B6, and then press Enter. Excel will calculate the average of the sample values in B1 through B3, then subtract the margin of error from cell B6. The result in cell B7 is the lower limit of the confidence interval. Now we will calculate the upper bound. Click cell B8. The upper bound is the sample average plus the margin of error. Together, the lower and upper bounds give us the full confidence interval. Type =average B1 B3 plus B6, and then press Enter. Excel will calculate the average of the sample values again, then add the margin of error from cell B6. The result in cell B8 is the upper limit of the confidence interval. At this point, you have calculated all the key parts of the confidence interval. Cell B4 shows the sample size. Cell B5 shows the sample standard deviation. Cell B6 shows the margin of error. Cell B7 shows the lower bound. And cell B8 shows the upper bound. That covers everything you need to know.